I am not a fan of cutting grants to student aid. And let me be real clear, there's a debate going on in this country. And what I believe, what the President believes, I think what so many of us in this room believe, is that we think education is an investment, not an expense. And whether it's early childhood education, whether it's K-12 education, whether it's higher education, I always talk about cradle to career, we have to invest as a country. And not just invest in the status quo, we have to invest in reform and drive change. But anyone who thinks we should reduce funding for education, anyone who thinks we need less high school graduates or less college graduates, I just think they're living in a world that doesn't make any sense. That's not reality.
Susan Schmitz from Downtown Madison Incorporated. I'm the Executive Director. Thank you so much for visiting this community. Could you please talk a little bit more about public-private, the need for public-private partnerships, especially on the local level, and where you have seen some successes and where you think we need to be looking?
Just appreciate all these questions. It's just so hugely important that I think it's, as much as we need great principals and great teachers and great superintendents, they can't do this hard work by themselves. And in good economic times or bad, particularly tough times, this has to be the entire community rallying behind the effort. So the goal I always say here in Madison, your goal should be to have the best school system in the country. And we can't have strong communities if we don't have strong schools. One thing I'm thinking more and more about, if we're serious about reducing dropout rates and having more young people going on to college, if we're trying to do that junior, senior year, it's obviously too late. We've lost those young people. And so, I really encourage the faith-based institutions and nonprofit and social service agencies to think about. We know, frankly, in kindergarten, which children are at risk. You just look at kindergarten attendance. And when children are missing 20, 30, 40 days, 50 days out of the school year, something's not happening at home. And whatever we could do is normally not 25 kids in the class, it's normally 2 or 3 or 4. And what we could do with our kindergarten and first grade and second grade teachers to identify those handful of children who desperately need something more or better. And if we don't do it, eventually we will lose them down the line. And if we could identify those kids at 3 and 4 and 5, not at 14, 15, 16, and then commit for 10 years to stay with them, I think we'd see radically better outcomes. So really just a personalized, child-by-child advocacy. Again, saying we're going to mentor, we're going to be a role model, we're going to help this child. We are not going to let them fall through the cracks, regardless of what is going on at home.